Hey guys, it's Rachel, and today I want to do a compare and review of two high-end powder foundations I've been using the past couple months. And the first one is the Bareminerals Matte Foundation. This is a classic. It's been around for a really long time, and it's like a lot of people know about this and have tried it or used it. I wanted to compare it to a new foundation that's been on the market, and this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. So I just wanted to go and compare these two foundations and just give you my opinion on which one I prefer and just compare these two powder foundations. So yeah, if you want to find out which one I prefer and just more about the two products, keep watching. So I have a notepad of notes I wrote down to compare these two products. So the first one is the price and how much is in each product. So starting off with the Bareminerals Matte one, this has 6 grams and this is $27, while the Tarte one has 7 grams, but it is more expensive for $30. So even though the Tarte one does have more product than the Bareminerals one, the Tarte one is a little bit more expensive, so keep that in mind. Next thing I want to talk about was the packaging of the two products. So the Bareminerals one has the classic sifter in it. Mine has product in it, but as you can see it's a sifter, and then you just turn it like so, and then the sifter opens, and then you can close the sifter, which is really, really nice, and just the classic packaging for most powder foundations. While the Tarte one has a little bit of a different packaging. Instead of having a sifter, this one is kind of messy too. You can't really see my mesh right now because it's kind of covered with product, but it has a mesh instead of a sifter, which can be good or bad because I kind of like it just because it's easier. Because whenever you want product, you just have to tap your brush into the little mesh thingy, and then it'll apply product to your brush instead of having to dump some out from a sifter and then using it. You can just kind of press it as you need it, which is kind of nice. And also the cap here covers the sifter so that it doesn't get messy or whatever. But the only thing is, if you dispense too much product, there's no way of putting it back in, which I don't like. But out of the packaging, I have to say I prefer this one just because it's a little bit easier to use than having to pour out then use it. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the shade ranges for these two products. So the Bareminerals also has an original formula, which is if you have not as oily skin. So I never tried that one, but there's that option with Bareminerals. And also they have 20 shades, and they also have neutral, cool, and warm tone shades. So there's a lot of different shade choices for this foundation compared to the Tarte one. It only has, I believe, half the amount, 10. And when I was picking out my shade, I found it kind of difficult because I was looking for a neutral or warm tone, but they didn't have one that was a light one. All the light tones were more pinky toned. So I think when it comes to shades, the Bareminerals is definitely a lot better because this one doesn't have as many shade choices. When it comes to coverage, I believe that the Bareminerals has a light to, I'd say, a medium. I don't think it could be built up to full coverage on me. I've never tried to do that. It hasn't worked for me. I've heard of people who are able to. I have seen this cover of acne scars and really bad acne, so I guess it has that potential. But for me, I don't think it can go up to full, but depends on how you like to wear your foundation. It's more of a light to medium, and it's also good because if you wear a BB cream per se, you could definitely dust this over it just to give a little bit more coverage and to set it, and it won't look too cakey, which I really, really like about this. Now the Tarte one has full coverage, medium to full I would say, as it claims to be full coverage. I think it lives up to that claim. However, I feel like if I put it over a BB cream or a foundation, it looks cakey, So personally, I like both the coverages. I just prefer this one because it can be built to medium coverage, which I like, but it can also be dusted over things, unlike this one, even though it can be full coverage so you can use it alone. I just don't like the fact that you can't put it over a foundation or a BB cream because then it looks kind of cakey. As for the finish, obviously this is a matte one because this is the matte formula of Bareminerals, and then this one, I would say the demi-matte finish. There is kind of, I don't want to say a shimmer, but there's really, really finely milled shimmers in this product. It's not visible on the skin, but it doesn't give a flat matte look, which I prefer personally. So it just depends on what you want from your foundation. As for texture, I would have to say the Tarte one has a lot nicer texture. I feel like it blends a lot better and is more buttery and just velvety, and it's easier to buff into the skin. I do feel like I have to work with this one a little bit more to get it more even, and this one's just a lot easier to blend in. So when it comes to staying power, I have to say that the Bareminerals Matte keeps me matte longer. Obviously it's a matte foundation, and I just feel like it stays and lasts a lot longer on my skin. I feel like this one is kind of greasy quicker. And not that I don't know if it claims to be oil controlling or not, but for me it gets greasy quicker, and also I feel like it just kind of starts to fade quicker than the Bareminerals one, so I have to say Bareminerals wins that category. Even though these two are both high-end and powder foundations, I have to say they're quite different from each other, and which one you prefer just depends on what you prefer from your foundation. For me personally, I prefer the Bareminerals matte foundation. I just like it a lot more because one, it is cheaper, and two, the shades are a lot more variety, and I have a hard time finding my shade in a lot of foundations, so I like that there's a lot of shades to choose from. Even though this is a little bit more harder to work with to get it to blend into your skin, it's not really hard just compared to this one. It's harder. This is still pretty easy to blend into your skin. I just prefer this one because it has a better staying power, which I really need because I have oily skin, so staying power is very important to me. And also I do like that I'm able to use this over BB creams and foundations, so it has like more than one purpose for me. So I personally prefer my Bareminerals matte one, but I would say this one would be better if you don't have as oily of a skin type. I just think that for super oily skin girls, I would just stick to the Bareminerals. I think it works a lot better than this one. If you're more normal or even dry skin, I think this would work better for you. So that's just my thoughts and opinions and comparisons of these two foundations. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions for any other types of videos like this, please tell me. I think these are fun to do. And hopefully I will be seeing you guys back for another video. Bye!